Hello Year 4, how are you? And welcome to your spelling session for today. Now today's spelling rule is going to be the same as last week, where we are looking at homophones and near homophones. Can you remember what a homophone is? Fantastic! So, homophones are words that sound the same, but they have different spellings and different meanings. I've got a sentence here, and I would like you to read the sentence about the lorry driver. And can you find the pair of homophones, the two homophones in this sentence? Pause the video now and have a think. Did you manage to spot them? Let's read the sentence together and figure out which two words form my pair of homophones. The lorry driver completely missed his junction because of the thick mist on the motorway. Did you spot the two words? It was missed and missed. Two words that sound the same, but they completely have different meanings. Now today, I am going to introduce you to some of our spelling words. These are all pairs of homophones or near homophones. And I'm going to give you two definitions. Now, the first one is done for you, but the others won't be done for you. So my definition one is a set of two things together. Now, when things are grouped in twos, we know that they come as a pair, so we could have a pair of socks. And then my definition two for the other homophone that pairs with my first homophone is a fruit. So if we know that my definition one is a set of two things together, my spelling word is pear. So my fruit is also going to be pear, but spelt in a different way. And we know that we can eat pears, they are a type of fruit. Now the next one is not done for you. I'm going to give you two definitions and I want you to figure out if you can tell what the word is. So my first definition is to examine if something is okay. And the second definition is you may write out one of these things to pay for something. Can you think of the word? Pause the video and have a think. How did you get on? If you're examining if something is okay, if I was having a look at your leg, I am checking that it's okay. So our first word is check. And if I am writing out one of these to pay for something, knowing that my first definition word is check, it's also going to be check, but spelt a different way. Now, if you didn't get this one, that's okay, but we can try and get the next one. So the next one, the definition, is something you might eat at breakfast. So think, when you're having your breakfast, what do you eat? And your second definition, oh, it came up then. So the something you might eat was cereal. So that was our first word there. And our second definition is consisting of lots of parts to form a series. Well, we know the word is going to be cereal, but how is it spelled? Let's have a look. So you might have seen one of these before. It's a serial number and it's used to identify a range of things. And normally when you buy something, you have, well, all the time when you buy something, you'll have a barcode that you'll be able to scan. And it has a unique serial number, which is used to identify what that object is, what that thing is that you're buying. So our next two spellings are cereal and cereal. Now next up, our definition is a flight of steps. So if you are going up a flight of steps, what are they called? You might say, I'm running up the stairs. Well done. So you are running up the stairs. That is our next spelling word. Can you find the homophone that pairs with this word stairs? If you look at something with your eyes wide open, what are you doing? You are also staring, or we say stares. The man stares into the mouth of someone if they're a dentist, for example. Let's have a look at our next pair of words then. So our definition is, we've been looking at this in our English lessons, the past tense of the verb to throw. To throw. If you were to throw something, what was that in the past tense? You threw. Well done, you threw. Now my other definition, moving in one side and out of the other. You are moving through one side and out the other side. How do I say or spell even the word through? Well, have a look. Through. You might thread a needle through the pin like we were when we were making our decorations at the end of last term. So that is your next spelling, through and through those pair of homophones. Now, our final definitions today are already here for us, but because this was a bit harder, a first attempt at a piece of writing, and this is called our draft. Sometimes before we write the real thing, we like to make a draft of it to make sure that we've written everything that we want to include in our writing. So then we can write another version, and that's going to be our best write. So you might have your draft write, which isn't your best, but you've tried to include as much as you could, and then you'd have your best write. So this picture here is showing draft again. We know because it's a homophone, it's going to be the same pronunciation, draft. But what's the image showing? Can you have a think? What do you think the definition might be of this picture? Did you manage to get it right? The definition is a rush of cold air. So if you might be sitting in the classroom and you might feel a bit of a shiver, you might say, oh, Miss Newman, I can feel a draft. I can feel a rush of cold air. So there are two more of our homophones there. Okay, so here are your spelling words for this week. You can see they're all homophones and near homophones. So your task today is to practice these spelling words using the look, say, cover, write and check. Now, this method is really important that you do properly. So you'd look at the word cereal, well, you'd look at the word, you'd say the word cereal, you'd cover the word, you'd write the word, still having it covered, you'd take your hand off, check, give it a tick if you got it right, or a cross if you haven't got it right, and if you haven't got it right, then now is your time to correct it. Okay, so look, say, cover, write, uncover, check, tick or cross and correct. And that will help you learn your spellings. Another way that I want you to learn your spellings is by putting each of the spelling words into a short sentence. Now, it might be a bit harder because you might not fully understand all of the meanings of the different homophones. You might understand most of them, but that's why we looked at the definitions earlier on in this lesson. So I want to challenge you and I want to see if you can use a different starting point for your sentence other than saying I. So if I were to write a sentence about cereal, I don't want you to write, I had cereal for breakfast this morning. I want you to try and think of other ways to open your sentence. So you can see that I've opened my sentence using the word the. The dog has his eye on my cereal every morning. So I've put the word cereal in a sentence, I've used it correctly, and I've also started my sentence with something other than I. Okay, and then also make sure that this time you're not starting everything with the. Okay, so make your sentences a wide variety of sentence starters. Okay, so those are your two tasks for today, and also make sure you are practicing your spellings throughout the week. Thank you for listening to today's lesson. Have a lovely rest of your day and I will see you in our next lesson. Goodbye.